Welcome back to Cruising America, everyone. Today we're visiting Hovenweep National Monument in southeast Utah. We're Steve and Kathleen. We're cruising America in our 35-foot fifth wheel RV, chasing 70-degree weather year-round. If you'd like to watch our previous videos, please click the Cruising America playlist link in the description below this video. Otherwise, enjoy our current episode starting now. Hovenweep National Monument protects 6 prehistoric Puebloan-era villages spread over a 20-mile expanse of mesa tops and canyons along the Utah-Colorado border. Rangers recommend stopping at Hovenweep Visitor Center at Square Tower Group before going to other outlying areas. Located near the Visitor Center and campground, Square Tower Group is the only unit of Hovenweep accessible by a paved road. A moderately strenuous trail follows the canyon rim and offers excellent views of every structure. Most people spend 1 to 2 hours exploring the area. Between the Visitor Center and the first overlook, the trail is paved and is accessible to wheelchairs. Multi-story towers perched on canyon rims and balanced on boulders lead visitors to marvel at the skill and motivation of their builders. Under a ledge in the canyon below are several small structures that may have been built to protect and store water from the spring. In Puebloan religion, the kiva is a structure connecting with different worlds. The floor is related to the world below and is usually built below ground level. The entrance to a typical kiva is through the roof, which relates to the world above. Natural resources in the area, particularly the forest of pinyon and juniper trees, provided Pueblans with a variety of useful materials. Pinyon seeds were a food source rich in calories and protein. Pinyon sap, or pitch, was used as a waterproof sealant for baskets. Shredded juniper bark was used for clothing and sandals. Trees were burned in fires and used as building materials. In fact, by counting the tree rings present in structural timbers, archaeologists can determine exactly when these sites were built. Researchers studying prehistoric diets have found sagebrush flowers, seeds, and leaves in the Pueblans' waste. As a minor part of their diet, sagebrush would have been a good source of iron and vitamin C. In larger amounts, it kills intestinal parasites. Quartz pebbles from stream beds provided material for stone tools. When these rocks are broken using another rock or a piece of antler, they have edges as sharp as glass. Pueblans shaped these hard rocks into tools such as knives, scrapers, and projectile points. The geology of the surrounding landscape produces springs and seeps. In these canyons, permeable Dakota sandstone rests on top of impermeable Burrow Canyon shale. Water from rain and snow soaks through the sandstone, but is forced to flow outward when it meets the shale. When this water reaches the wall of the canyon, it forms a spring. For the Pueblans, these canyons with seeps and springs were the ideal place to locate a village. In contemporary Pueblan culture, springs are special locations associated with stories that talk about the origins of Pueblan peoples. Archaeological analysis of the Hovenweep Towers suggests these structures were used for multiple activities, although some activities were probably very specialized. The presence of grinding stones, such as manos and metates, indicates plant materials were being ground, probably for food production. Stone tools typically used for chopping, scraping, and cutting suggest a variety of activities associated with daily life were occurring within the towers. The presence of bone owls suggests activities associated with weaving might have also occurred. In addition, archaeologists suggest these towers were usually paired with kivas, and the towers may relate to how the kiva connects with the outside world. The deliberate location of towers and kivas at the heads of canyons goes beyond architecture and has everything to do with the hydrology of the canyon and the way the Puebloan peoples envisioned their world. Some of the towers and kivas are placed virtually on top of the springs and seeps that emerge from these canyons. The Square Tower group contains the largest collection of ancestral Puebloan structures at Hovenweep. The remains of nearly 30 kivas have been discovered on the slopes of Little Ruin Canyon, and a variety of other structures are perched on the canyon rims, balanced on boulders and tucked under ledges. It's possible that as many as 500 people occupied the Square Tower area between 1200 and 1300. Square Tower, for which the group is named, is a 3-story tower built on a boulder at the head of Little Ruin Canyon. A nearby spring would have been an important resource for the inhabitants of Hovenweep. The unique location and appearance of Square Tower fuels speculation that it was a ceremonial structure. This rocky, rugged, open country was once home to many people. For thousands of years, people hunted animals and gathered plants, moving on an annual cycle from the high mesas to the low canyon lands. As corn, or maize, gradually made its way north from Mexico, they became farmers and settled in villages. Along with corn, they grew beans, squash, and a grain called aramanth. There is also evidence they grew cotton. Visitors to Hovenweep may see and hear a wide variety of animals or none at all, depending on the time of day. Rodents and bats comprise the majority of the mammals found here because they're all so well adapted to the harsh desert environment. Common large mammals include mule deer, bobcat, mountain lion, and coyote, although visitors will typically never see a mountain lion or mule deer within the park itself. Birds are most numerous in cottonwood and willow vegetation along streams and water sources. Look for ravens on standing walls and in alcoves. In the spring, keen eyes will spot baby owls poking their heads out from the nest, with mom and dad nearby. On your way to the park, look for raptors, like hawks and golden eagles, on the tops of telephone poles. Cold-blooded reptiles like snakes and lizards also thrive here, using the abundant sunlight to keep their bodies warm. The most common lizards are the side-blotched and sagebrush lizards. The most common snakes are the gopher snake, midget-faded rattlesnake, and striped whip snake. Amphibians are not common, found only near streams, springs, and rock pools.